Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today as we're going to take a look at the astrological energies from August 11th until August 18th. And in this Wednesday podcast, we discuss and look at the energies as they're coming through, and I share with you what I am intuitively sensing, what our options and opportunities are, as well as what may support us on this evolutionary journey. This is the understanding of ourselves as beautiful, blossoming, energetic beings, always moving around the spiral of energies and really making the most of what is happening in our current timeline and in our current reality. If you are a regular listener to this podcast, welcome back. Thank you so much for your subscribes, likes, and follows. And if you are new, welcome. I share astrological insights through the lens of intuitive messages, spirituality, and energy. And this could be a different approach than other astrologers that you listen to or follow, but I have a very simple belief that all astrology contributes to the wholeness of this language, of this energy, and that it's very interesting to look at how astrology keeps demonstrating itself in our lives and in our world. I have been practicing and studying astrology for over 30 years now, and I'm always learning. I'm still discovering even more, and I think that's what's also very invigorating about this whole world and this language of astrology is that it travels with us, it keeps expanding, and there's always a new angle or something new to see that perhaps we've missed before. Very much like a kaleidoscope where the energies shift and something else comes alive or something else comes in focus. So as I'm doing this show, the sun is voyaging through Leo and is moving through the end of the second decan and entering the third decan of Leo. The decans are where every astrological sign is composed of 30 degrees, and we break those 30 degrees down into 10-degree segments that we call decans. And they're measured from 0 to 9 degrees, 10 to 19 degrees, and then 20 to 29 degrees. And so as the sun moves into the 20-degree point and beyond, it's reaching a point of mastery, of higher understanding of how to use and apply the themes of Leo in your life. Leo is the fifth sign of the zodiac. It is a fire sign and a fixed sign. It can be beautifully exemplified by a bonfire, by that fixed fire energy that can roar to life, that can be amplified. Sometimes it might simmer down, but it still is going strong. And that's what the energy of the fixed signs are about. Reliability, stability, consistency. These are all key words. And with Leo, what we're looking at is really how we manage the consistency of our own light, the stability of our life force, the ability to trust ourselves, what we want to express, what calls to us, what is really in alignment with our energy fields at this time, and how we can harness that energy and use it responsibly. We are now on the other side of a very powerful Leo new moon that was at 16 degrees of Leo on August 8th, which coincided with the Lionsgate portal energies. The Lionsgate portal is a cosmic energy. It's an opening into the vastness of the universe. It's where our tiny small speck of a marble of a planet is receiving more downloads and connections to bigger energy sources. And so it is a portal energy, and it's similar to how every month there are portal energies that are connected to numerology. And so in September, we have the 9-9 portal, in October, the 10-10 portal, and so on. The Lionsgate portal has certainly become a bigger deal because of what we have been learning about it, how it's expanded our consciousness, and also how it reminds us of all the ways energy is speaking to us and working with us. So after this Leo new moon, the energy is increasing and building up to the next Aquarius full moon, which will be at 29 degrees on August 22nd. And I just released a video for you on YouTube going through that chart. And there's a lot of movement, turning point, and information connected with this upcoming Aquarius full moon. So as the sun is now voyaging into the third decan of Leo, we're understanding more of who we are at this point in our lives and in our journey, and how we can continue to develop confidence in ourselves, confidence in how far you've come, confidence in the choices you've made, what you've healed, what you've moved through. This is where there can be a steadiness in your sense of self and the opportunity to really own your journey. And as you take ownership over all aspects of your energy and yourself, you can have a very deep well of self-love here. And that's what I'm feeling is very strong right now. That there have been openings into more of what it means to love yourself, what that looks like now. And I don't mean that in the Pollyanna essence of love or even the childlike version of love. I mean this from the energy of strength, power, courage, and also balanced by some humility, perhaps a little humbleness, perhaps a little sense of understanding your own humanness, where you can say, okay, there's been times in my life when things were really messy or when I was really uncertain, I was vulnerable, I was insecure, but I've learned from those stages. I've learned through those phases of my existence. And look at how far I've come. Look what I have discovered about myself. Look at what has come to my awareness. And in last week's podcast, we've been talking about how there's been a very strong light of consciousness shining through, where the light of truth has been showing you something in your world, in your life, in yourself, that the universe really wants you to see. And this can relate to any area of life. However, with the strong Leo energy, you would look in your natal chart at the degrees and the houses where this Leo energy traverses, because you're getting downloads of confidence and self-acceptance around something that maybe your ego didn't let you see. Now, the healthy ego is vital to us, where we need a strong sense of self, our self-identity, to feel proud of who we are, to feel strong in our talents, our gifts, to be able to present ourselves in a way that exudes confidence. But sometimes that false ego or that overactive ego becomes too much, and it blocks us from a truth where maybe you weren't ready to see something, you weren't ready to acknowledge it. Maybe there was something in yourself you didn't realize you were contributing to or participating in. And this is where we can be blinded to our own patterns, where we don't see something because it just wasn't in our awareness to see it yet. So it's not always that the ego is blocking it, but oftentimes the ego wants to maintain a sense of self, a sense of power, perhaps a sense of control, or this is what I know, this is where I feel safe. And I do believe that the ego ultimately wants us to feel safe. And that can show up through any possible ways and scenarios. But what's happening here is that a light of truth, a higher understanding, something you're meant to know that maybe you just didn't see before for whatever reason, has been blasting through, bringing to your awareness something that you're meant to understand about yourself, your world, your life. And I feel like this is energy that is surrounded by love and a sense of safety, almost like it's okay to put down the shield and to open up the heart even more. And that's also part of the Leo energy, is that there can be a very strong heart chakra activation. It can be something like, I'm seeing it as very wide, like a very wide energy where maybe it was enclosed or kept small, or it didn't feel safe to open up. This has been a heart opening. There have been cracks opening, things that, again, maybe it was uncomfortable at first. Maybe it was like, no, 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 I don't want to see that. I don't want to look at it that way. Because part of what the mind will do is the mind will step in and look at how to fix it, look at what to improve, look at what you should have known, what you could have done better. You know, the mind can step in with all these messages that can sometimes hold us back from the spiritual messages that are coming through. And those spiritual messages are often so much bigger and so much more loving, and they're kind, and they want us to be compassionate with ourselves, and don't be hard on yourselves for what you didn't know, because we live in this huge, vast universe where we don't know what we don't know. And I feel like this has been an intense energy period of expansion that could also have the growing pains, the cracks, the discomfort, the sense of, are you being exceptionally hard on yourself? Is that a pattern? Similar to even self-punishment, where, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I know better? Why didn't I choose this? Why didn't I do that? You know, all those messages is where we're working against ourselves, and it can be never ending. But this is a time period to turn down those messages, put them on mute, and look at the bigger picture of your life. Look at what is now opening up to you that perhaps looks very different than what you thought or planned or anticipated. And what is opening up to you that started within your own awareness, your own consciousness. What is now opening up, and it's something you can't ignore, you can't deny, you can't run away from. It's almost like this truth, this higher consciousness, higher awareness has helped us turn a corner, turn a page, move into new parts of ourselves, new parts of our hearts, new parts of our energy, of our body. Again, there is this energy, it's like a birthing energy. It's an opening. And so there probably have been some labor pains, but I feel it as a widening. And I mentioned this last week that part of the expansion we're moving through is that our energy vessels are able to hold and maintain higher energies, higher light codes. And this is part of where we're stretching and growing. And it's also where we can have that uncertainty, where the old messages start coming forward. Again, you could feel hard on yourself. You could find yourself thinking you should know better, or that you should have a plan, or what do I do with this? And we're meant to calm down that overactive mind or overactive ego, because I feel like what we're really moving into is a part of ourselves that hasn't been able to emerge ever before. I'm literally feeling it as new energy from the soul, like it's new soul essence energy. It's very fresh, it's very clear, very bright, very effervescent. And it's almost like, where do I put this? It's really different. It feels very new, very fresh. And I feel like what we're understanding is that as we've been processing and moving through very big energies, this is confirmation of how the universe is supporting us. This is showing you that when you clear out, when you heal, when you release, when you even allow space for the voids, of course something else is going to come in. And this is the new coming in. So trust what you're feeling around this, what resonates for you. Trust what is being integrated, especially into your body. Now, over this next week, we have strong Virgo energy now in play as Mercury moves in to Virgo on August 11th. We have Mars currently in Virgo, and we have Venus in Virgo, where she will stay until August 15th. And that's when she's going to enter Libra, one of her more natural energies. So over the next, we'll call it 4 or 5 days, with the 3 personal planets in Virgo before Venus moves into Libra, there is an energy here of focus, progress, productivity. What do you want to move forward? Where are you looking for results? And the other energy I'm feeling right now is that there is a little bit of a hush, a quietness at this time. And I got the image of being in a library where it's like heads down, focus. I'm focusing on something. I want to make some clear accomplishments. I want to move something along. I want to take care of business. There's a sense of what can you move forward? But the energy I'm feeling is just much quieter and calmer so that we can focus. Now, the library energy is interesting because it feels like there's something calming here, where it's calming down the energies, calming down the body, allowing integration to happen. There's also this quietness of listening to your body. And what is it saying to you? Where are you feeling some whispers or messages coming through of what your body needs? And it could be as simple as, I need more water every day. Or can we try some different foods? Can we have more fruit? Can we have more veggies? There's something where your body's energy could feel more active and alive with this strong Virgo energy signature. And it's a good time to listen because of how our bodies are feeling so much and really tapped in ways that we don't always notice. So your body consciousness is very strong right now, and that's part of what we're meant to pay attention to. And because it feels like this quiet library energy, you might start hearing more. Okay, this is really interesting. What I'm getting as I say this is that part of the new energies coming in is that you could start feeling and sensing new spirit guides. Like there's new energies coming in, and that means there's new guidance available, and you could feel new energies working with you. And there could be a changeover in your own personal guidance system where you could hear new voices, new tones, new messages, new dialect. I mean, I'm just feeling this energy as part of this quietness is there are introductions being made. And as I said, introductions, the energy just lit up. It's like, wow, okay, introductions. So maybe that is not only through spirit guides, but maybe that's new people that you're connecting with or meeting, or just having space now for new people, new connections, new ways of interacting. I also feel like this relates to that changeover energy, where if you've let certain relationships go or certain connections, they just don't have a resonance, you've got nothing to say, it doesn't feel like a good fit. You know, there's ways to do that are gentle, loving, and kind. And there's ways to always bless people on their journey. And I mean that in a sincere way, not in any kind of sarcastic way. I mean like that sincere wishing them well and really wanting what's best for them wherever their road takes them, whatever their choices are, wherever they go next. I feel like there is this strong introduction energy. So what or who do you want to meet? What or who are you ready to open up to in a new way? I feel like new people coming in, whether that a new friendship, a new acquaintance, new connections of any kind, new romantic partnerships. This feels like there's been so much cleared out that now there is space for the new. And the other word I'm hearing strongly relates to standards. There are new standards that you're adhering to in your life, in yourself, that you're also looking for in others. You could also think of this as values. People who share the same values as you, who are on the same page and on the same resonance. Keep in mind that there are millions of people on this planet who are vibrating at higher frequencies now. Millions. And so there's more energies that are going to naturally connect and come together. And that's part of how we are moving the energy forward on the planet, where as we each do our own work and rise in our own consciousness, of course we're going to then connect with others of like mind, similar values, and the same vibration and frequencies. So there is this turnover energy that's underway. Again, the introductions feel strong, standards feels very strong, and there's also something at this time around progress in your life, because this Virgo energy is about making things work, making things better, how to make improvements, what needs to change. So Virgo is an earth sign, and it's a mutable sign. It's about adapting, being mutable. What can I improve here? What isn't working? What can I make better? And this energy is very different than Leo. So one thing that's fascinating about the zodiac is that every astrological sign is very different from the next. And it's part of the rotation and progression of energies that keeps us in balance, that keeps us moving forward and staying open to new ways to work with energy. So the Leo fixed fire energy, which is masculine, is very much about the doing, the initiating, the leadership. What am I going to create? What's going to work for me? What do I want? Then we move into Virgo, and Virgo is the earth mutable feminine energy of, okay, let's see how this can fit together better. What needs to change? Maybe I did it the first time and I'm going to clean up the mess now. I'm going to look for improvements. What can be refined and edited? What can be clearer? Where do I need to be more discerning? So we move into different energies now with the strong Virgo through Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and we're focusing on fine-tuning. So this is a great time to make progress on incremental tasks, on your daily priorities, any projects you've put off, things that you didn't know how to tackle or you didn't know what to do with it. Virgo brings in a plan. Virgo can manage. Virgo can organize. And this is where we can make some concrete progress and have new results. There's also the energy here of new accomplishments. Now we have a strong earth energy at this time with the 3 planets in Virgo, plus Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn. So the strong earth signs is a signature of tending to our daily life, looking at what we need to change, what matters, where our energy goes, how we're spending our time. This can bring up anything in your physical world, your physical environment, which includes your body, your finances, your possessions, what you're doing every day to create your life. So it's taking stock of our daily world, your home environment, your work, your office, etc., and looking at what's working and what's not. Now, the other thing about this strong Virgo energy is that you want to be realistic about what you can manage. Now, one of my favorite people in the world is a strong Virgo, and she loves her Excel documents, and she wants to work with this Excel every day. And so Excel is very Virgo, where you organize and you put together the formulas and the plans and everything. And so this would be like, you're going to want to have a few different Excel document columns, a few columns in Excel about what you can manage, what's in your control, what you can take on, where you can make progress. And then you have a separate column that is out of your control and you can't manage it. It's not something you can make progress on. It's not something that is in your control. And this is important to discern because sometimes that Virgo energy can be the micromanager and be very focused on every little dang thing, but then you lose sight of the bigger picture and you lose sight of the fact that it's not all your responsibility. Virgo's a very responsible sign, and so there could be things here where you have to be honest with yourself and say, that's not mine. That's not my responsibility. That's not something I can manage. That's not something I can take on. So you want to look at your no's. Where are you saying no? And you might have to say no to yourself, meaning assessing if you've taken on too much in a certain part of your life and you realize, I can't do all this. I need help. I need assistance, or I need to decline, or this isn't the right time. So we have to have realistic management here with this strong Virgo energy. Now that Leo energy, because as we know, the sun is still moving through Leo, it gets us fired up. We get excited and inspired. I want to do this. I want to do that. I can take this on. And then the Virgo energies come in and say, okay, how? How are you going to do this in a day? How much can you get done this week? How is this going to work into your schedule? And that's where we have a reality check. It's also really fascinating that as you go around the zodiac wheel, every fire sign is followed by an earth sign. And so that fire sign is fired up and inspired, motivated. I'm ready to go. And then the earth sign provides a grounding perspective, shows you what has legs, what can be really truly created, brings in the boundaries. Earth signs bring in the boundaries, but they also show you what is tangible. And it's a bit like it brings in the budget. Say, okay, I understand you want to do this, but you've got $100. So what can you do with $100 and this motivation? So that's what we're working with here, is looking at how to fuel the fires of inspiration, but then the practical reality check of Virgo is going to tell you what's possible, what's manageable, and then also what is a no. Nope, sorry, it's too much right now. I don't think I can commit to that. I don't think I can take that on. So that is a strong energy here over this next week. Now, when Venus moves into Libra on August 15th, she's entering into a diplomatic sign that's about conversations and relating to people. Venus is strong in Libra since she's known as the ruler of Libra, but it's interesting because Libra is a masculine energy and Venus is feminine. So Venus is actually more at home in Taurus, which is a feminine earth sign. And when Venus moves into Libra, the masculine sign, an air sign, a cardinal sign, that is the beginning of connections, relationships, conversations, what needs to be negotiated, what requires a deeper conversation. And that's going to be easier once she moves into Libra on August 15th. So what we have here is a time to focus, make progress, allow yourself to realistically assess and maybe put it in your Excel document what you can manage and then what you cannot. Each of these Virgo planets is going to have an opposition from Neptune and Pisces when it gets to 22 degrees. So when every Virgo planet gets to 22 degrees, it's going to have to let something go because that Neptune and Pisces is the stronger energy and will remove and take away. It will dissolve the details. It will say, maybe we don't know the answer. Maybe we don't know how to approach this. And that can be very frustrating for the Virgo energy. That is something to just stay mindful of, as we'll see Mars and Mercury in Virgo opposing Neptune later in August and into September. But this is the time to focus, make progress, and see some clear results in what you're focusing on. Now back to this library energy, you could feel like you need more time and space to yourself right now so that you can focus. There might be a sense of, I don't want to do too much socializing just yet, or I'm aware of what I need to get done today. And it could be that there's a desire to be in solitude, to have that space to just be in your head, or again, to get things going, to get things moving. So just honor that. It feels like there's a lot that can get accomplished in a short amount of time. And this is also going to fuel the fire of that sun in Leo, where you have the energy, you have the inspiration, the motivation, the drive. There's an energy here of having something you want to tackle or move through. And it helps with that sense of confidence, like I'm on the right track, I'm making progress, this is coming together really well. I also feel like there's something about this new energy, the new light codes, the new trajectory even. It feels like we're on a higher path, almost like it's above the masses, above the collective energies. And that's part of the quiet I'm sensing. That's part of this hush where there isn't as much congestion or chaos. Of course, you can go visit those places. You can go visit those different energies and timelines. And maybe you don't visit, you just observe. But I feel like it's a bit like being in a higher place in the Earth's atmosphere, where the energy just has a clarity to it. And there's something that even feels like it's effortless. There's an effortlessness here if we tap into that flow, and if that is part of what your intention is as well. And honestly, I always find the library energy wonderful and also a little bit too quiet. It can be filled with anticipation. And I'm the kind of person where don't sit next to me in the library because I'll just start laughing for no reason. And then I can't stop. But there's something anticipatory as well in this energy where it's so quiet. It's so different. It feels very different. So what's happening? What's coming next? It has that energy to it. It's kind of like below the surface, but we're feeling it and sensing it, that maybe there's things that are building up or going to be revealed or coming out. And it just feels like this other layer of the energy at this time. And so that brings my attention to the fact that Uranus in Taurus is moving very slow, as it will station retrograde on August 19th at 14 degrees of Taurus, 48 minutes. So nearly 15 degrees of Taurus, brand new territory, about the very middle point of Taurus. And that Uranus energy is what is unexpected. The surprises, the breakthroughs, the energies of awakening and liberation, but also chaos, earthquakes, like things happening very quickly. And I feel like what is happening here is that we have elevated ourselves above a lot of the density of the 3D, where we're living in a three-dimensional world, but we're connecting to more and really understanding the 5D experience of observation, feeling energetically separate, feeling like you're in a different reality. You've grown, you've healed, you have different perspectives, perhaps than even people in your family, friends, acquaintances, business people that you interact with. It's like there's a sense of separation that we're getting used to. We're getting used to what it means to not fully inhabit the 3D experience, but we're still in a body, still grounded on the earth, still moving through the grocery stores and driving your vehicle and all these other parts of our lives that are necessary. But I feel like there's just been this shift, and it's a permanent shift that is revealing more of our ability to create the life we want and what it means to be on the new earth, which is a place of consciousness, which is a state of consciousness. And part of the new earth energies are really supporting us in clarity of your values, of what matters to you right now, your soul mission, your purpose, what you're feeling drawn to do. And again, millions of people are feeling this. And even if we can't put words to it at times, we're sensing it. So there's this anticipatory energy. And I feel like it's related to Uranus stationing retrograde August 19th, Uranus is moving very slowly this month because of that station retrograde. And as it moves slowly, it's a bit like jittering. It's like that nervous jitter or twitch, and you could feel it in your nervous system. And so this would go back to the strong Virgo energies of this current energy cycle around what is your body feeling and how is your nervous system responding? How are you caring for your nervous system? And also looking at the tools you have to be in charge of it, where it's not in charge of you or overwhelming you. You're in charge of that part of your energy. And in Monday's podcast that was on August 9th, we talked about ways to take care of your energy during these big times, the parts of your chart to look at, including the energies of your moon, Venus, and Jupiter that will always support your energy and lift it up. And then at the end of that podcast, I described some resources and tools that you may be drawn to help with taking care of your body, your nervous system, your emotions, everything, that we have to manage as we progress on this journey. So know that there's many tools available to us. Many of them are free, and it's looking at what you can do to feel powerful in your energy as we move through and continue through these very big cycles. Now, on that note, on Monday's episode, I'm going to share with you another heads up, another big energy that's coming up over the next few years here that I feel we can collectively, consciously manage now. So that will be Monday's podcast episode, giving you another heads up on something to just be aware of and how we're going to work with it at this time in order to support the changes that are coming in the years ahead. And this is one of the ways that astrology is a beautiful tool and gift, is that we get a heads up on these themes and cycles. And even though we don't know when, we don't know the exact details or particulars, we have an understanding of the themes, and we can be aware of what we can do now to be in our power, to make the best choices, and to be responsible with ourselves. So over this next week, I hope that you have time to listen, to receive, to be in your body, to hear what your body is telling you. I hope that you have periods of time to relax as you integrate these bigger energies from that Leo new moon and Lionsgate portal. I hope that you're able to take care of yourself, enjoy the periods of quiet, enjoy some of the hush that is happening. And perhaps in these moments, you'll also feel and sense some new guides coming forward, some new spirit guides, angels, beings of light, whatever you connect with, however you feel supported. Perhaps that's also something that you're tapping into as we move through this middle of August period. So as always, thank you so much for joining me for this Wednesday podcast. You can find out more about me at mollymccord.online, where I have all of my latest courses and programs. Yes, you can still get the Solar Return course for 50% off with that coupon code BIRTHDAY. It has been extended so that more people can enjoy this information and really get into the energies that are coming up for them for their solar return. More information about that is below. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. I am grateful for your energy, your presence, and your light. And I hope that this next week is beautifully supportive for you in the most perfect ways. I will see you back here every Monday and Wednesday for another podcast episode. And please be sure to check out that Aquarius full moon video that is coming up on August 22nd, and you can learn more about what we are graduating through and where we're shifting as we move through August. Take good care, and I will see you back here next week.